one of the doors. Whoa! They knock it off of the tree.
Dude, no! It's like a person, man.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. On the night of March 21st, 2025, a solo paranormal investigator, recognized as Midwest Ghost Hunter, embarked on an exploration that would leave him deeply unsettled. His ambitious plan was to visit 2 infamous sites rumored to be intensely haunted: Riverside Cemetery and Iron Hill. However, by the end of the night, documenting paranormal activity would be the least of his concerns. He would find himself fleeing. The investigation begins at Riverside Cemetery, a vast and dark graveyard, notorious for ghost stories involving a Native American chief and a group of ghostly young girls, said to weep during the night. Early into his visit, the investigator hears unnerving footsteps, too precise to be from animals.
Not seeing any cold spots or anything yet. If there's anyone here, could you manifest yourself so I can see you? Whoa, whoa. There's something over there. There's a cold spot right over there. What the heck is that? If that's you, could you come towards me? Or to the right? No. It just freaking vanished into thin air. Holy crap. Where the hell did it go? It was just right over here. Is there somebody over here?
Using a K2 meter, he seemingly makes contact with multiple spirits, capturing energy spikes and unusual responses. As he roams deeper, he constantly feels an eerie sensation of being watched. Things escalate when he claims to see a figure among the graves, although it remains unclear if his camera caught the moment.
I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna follow you, okay? How many spirits haunt this cemetery? Because it seems like there's a lot of them. Holy moly. Look at all these graves that are out here. I just feel like there are people watching me from everywhere. Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, I swear to God, I just seen someone over there. They were walking through the graves. Holy crap, that sent chills down my spine. I don't think I caught it on camera.
Tension increases at a nearby abandoned chapel. Local lore warns that knocking on the chapel door will provoke a response.
Is there somebody over here? If so, could you make a sound? It's definitely a gorgeous chapel. I would definitely want to haunt here. I'm gonna try to knock and see if anything knocks back. Alright, here goes. Anyone home? No knocking yet. I'm gonna try it again. A little louder. If there's anyone in there, could you knock back? All right, I'm gonna try one more time. Oh, whoa. That was a thump. Oh, jeez. That startled the crap out of me. Thank you. Open one of the doors. Whoa! Something just appeared in the window!
After several attempts, a loud thump echoes back, startling him. Peering through the stained glass windows, he witnesses a faint flash of movement and hears subtle noises from within, deepening his fear. Later, at the ritual tree, a site linked to sightings of the Native American spirit, he encounters whispering voices in an unknown language. Pine cones are hurled at him, and at one point, something invisible strikes him. When he notices what appears to be a pair of glowing eyes staring from the darkness, he retreats respectfully, verbally apologizing as he backs away.
Voice. No way. Is that the tree? That's the ritual tree. No freaking way. I just heard like footsteps on the ground. Try to snap some photos. Moly, this is insane. Chief, why do they call this a ritual tree? Whoa. That was a scary freaking voice right there. And it didn't even sound English. There's literally nobody here. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for words. Oh, what the f***? Alright, that freaking pine cone just hit me. I'm starting to feel like I shouldn't be here, so honestly, I think I'm gonna get the heck out of here.
The second part of his night unfolds at Iron Hill, a site burdened by a horrifying history. In the 1920s, a train accident claimed the lives of over 20 orphan children here, and many believe their spirits still linger. Strange occurrences quickly follow his arrival: snapping branches, unseen projectiles, and the unsettling discovery of a railroad spike thrown toward him.
All right, guys, here we are. Just beyond this gate is Iron Hill. I have been wanting to check this place out for a while. Let's go ahead and check it out.
As he ventures further, childlike voices, laughter, and footsteps fill the night air. Then the most disturbing signs emerge. He begins finding dolls, each one more grotesque than the last. One resembles a burned bunny toy, covered in black marks resembling burn scars. More dolls are found, one hanging from a tree, another melted beyond recognition. On cue with his requests, one doll even drops from its branch.
What the hell is that? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. Oh my god. It's a freaking doll laying out here. Where the hell did this thing come from? It's like a bunny rabbit. A bunny man. What the hell is that? There's like these black marks all over it. Those almost look like burn marks. No way. Could this be from the fire? No, it couldn't be. Did you just lead me to this bunny rabbit doll here? Was this your doll? I can't believe what I'm seeing here. I just can't get over like these burn marks. Look, there's one right there too. I'm gonna dare you to knock it off of the tree. Oh god, where did she go?
Shadowy figures dart between the trees, and his photos capture misty apparitions that vanish almost instantly. The smell of smoke becomes overwhelming. His camera, fully charged at the start, suddenly dies as a burnt mist hangs in the air, almost as if the past tragedy is replaying itself. Panicking, he sprints through the woods, not chased by wild animals, but by flickering shadows and disembodied whispers just outside the range of his flashlight.
What the hell was that? Oh my god! There she is! gosh, there's like smoke in the photos. What the hell is that? Whoa. Whoa. There's a bunch of apparitions in that photo. There are shadows bolting all around me. Oh, God damn it. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Given the historical tragedies and the layered ghost stories tied to these two sites, it's possible that the energy left behind manifests through these chilling encounters. Whether paranormal forces or simply the weight of suggestion caused these experiences, one thing is clear. The investigator encountered phenomena that went beyond ordinary explanation. Was this merely an overactive imagination fueled by fear and folklore, or did the spirits of the past truly make their presence known that night? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. The Flex Tapes is a content creator known for his daring explorations, pushing boundaries by camping in storm drains, venturing into abandoned sites, and spending nights where few would dare. But on this occasion, he decided to take it even further, camping solo overnight inside a deserted caravan. What he hadn't anticipated was the growing suspicion that he might not have been entirely alone.
Tonight's camping place is an abandoned caravan. Yep.
Flex arrived at the caravan just before dusk, carrying his camera and fueled by curiosity. The vehicle itself, though battered, remained mostly intact. The windows were shattered, but the main structure stood firm, and the curtains still hung in place. Scattered personal belongings suggested that someone might have recently used the space. Despite the uneasy feeling hanging in the air, Flex pressed on. He explored the interior, cleared a couch to sleep on, brushing away bags and bits of debris. He set up his camp stove atop an old television, joking about his makeshift arrangement. However, as night fell, the atmosphere shifted. Around 2 a.m., faint sounds began to stir from within the caravan itself. Still half asleep, Flex froze, questioning whether the noises were real or his imagination. Yet the sounds persisted. Soft shuffling, the drag of plastic, and creaking floorboards, suggesting that something or someone was moving about. Lying completely still, Flex continued recording, trying to capture whatever might be sharing the space with him. The disturbances came in waves, short bursts of noise followed by tense silence. At one point, a loud knock jolted him fully awake. The next morning, he cautiously filmed the surroundings. Everything appeared undisturbed. No broken locks, no missing supplies, no visible footprints. Yet the tension lingered, heavy in the stagnant air of the caravan. Flex quietly packed his belongings. There was no dramatic climax, no clear answer, only an overwhelming sense that throughout the night, he had not been alone. Before leaving, he glanced back at the caravan one final time, silently acknowledging that perhaps it was better not to know who, or what, had kept him company. Could the unsettling noises and movements have been the result of a hidden squatter? Or was something far less tangible responsible? The absence of evidence and the lingering, oppressive feeling suggests that the answer may lie beyond the physical, perhaps residual energy. left by past occupants, or even something more unexplainable? Was Flex truly alone that night, or did something unseen choose to reveal itself only in fleeting whispers and faint movements? For years, Black Crag has been recognized for his breathtaking hikes, stunning views, and peaceful solo camping adventures throughout the Lake District. Yet during one particular trip, a wild camp he once thought memorable took a dark and unsettling turn, a story he has only recently decided to share. The day begins much like many of his other adventures, cheerful, scenic, and filled with commentary. Starting just outside Munger's Dale, Craig sets his sights on several Wainwright peaks, including Boscobel Fell, Banner Hill Crags, and finally Southern Fell, a location with an eerie reputation. As the route unfolds, he recalls a past visit to Southern Fell, a trip that began with beautiful conditions but ended with an encounter so strange that he long debated ever speaking about it. Crossing icy paths under clear skies, a rare break from the usual stormy weather, Craig notes the tranquility around Boscal Tarn, a place favored by wild swimmers. Yet the peace feels temporary. Southern Fell looms ahead, carrying with it an unsettling memory. While approaching Benedict Crags, he pauses to recount an account from Wainwright's writings about the legendary Spectral Army, seen in 1745.
Alright, as we move on to the Fell, let me just quickly read you a paragraph from Wainwright's book about the Spectral Army of Suter Fell. This is no legend. This is the solemn truth, as attested on oath before a magistrate by 26 sober and respected witnesses. These good people assembled on the evening before Midsummer Day, 1745, at a place of vantage in the valley to the east, to test incredulous reports that soldiers and horsemen had been seen marching across the top of Suter Fell. They saw them all right, an unbroken line of quickly moving troops, horses and carriages extending over the full length of the top of Suter, continuously appearing at one end and vanishing at the other, and passing unhesitatingly over steep places that horses and carriages could not possibly negotiate, as the bewildered observers well knew. The procession went on until darkness concealed the marching army. Next morning, the skyline was deserted, and a visit to the summit was made by a party of local worthies, fearful that the expected invasion from over the border had started. This was the year of the 45 rebellion. There was not a trace of the previous night's visitors, not a footprint, not a hoof mark, not a wheel rut in the grass, nothing. There was no doubting the evidence of so many witnesses, and yet it was equally certain that the marching figures had no substance. Scientists and students of the supernatural had no solution to offer. The only explanation ever given was that some kind of mirage had been seen, probably a vaporous reflection of Prince Charlie's rebels, who had that very evening been exercising on the west coast of Scotland. Now that does sound a little bit far-fetched, really, doesn't it? I think I'm going to stick with the idea that they were actually ghosts. It does make you wonder though, doesn't it? You know, all those people saw the same thing, all of sound mind, apparently, and they hadn't been drinking, but you never know. And they all saw that, so yeah, it does make you wonder. It certainly makes me wonder, and it was the reason why I came up here and did that camp on Midsummer's Eve, just to see. And I saw something, not the army, but I saw something. And in a minute, what we'll do is I'm going to have some food now, and we're going to head over to the cairn there where I pitched the tent. I'm just looking at it, I'm freaked out just looking at it now. And I'll run through what happened that night and what I saw, and I'll put it on the screen. You'll see it yourself. Some of you already seen it, some of you spotted it like, what the hell? But I'll put it back on the screen again so you can see, and I'll do it frame by frame. It's pretty disturbing. But in the meantime, let's eat, let's get out of the wind, and hope and pray that the air ambulance is here for somebody who's fallen, obviously. So there's obviously an injury up there somehow. I just hope and pray that it's not someone on Sharp Edge, but he's just circling round and round, so... Right, this'll do. There's nowhere to sit, I have to stand. I'll see you in a minute. Oh yeah. Death Witch number 1. Oh, that was good. Not feeling well, you know. Definitely coming down with something. As I was eating my butties, I was just sort of looking over that way towards Great Mel Fell, Wonderful hill. Actually one of my favourites now. I kind of poo-pooed it for years. But it just looks so bizarre.
As he revisits the spot where he pitched his tent, Craig's demeanor shifts. There's no wind, yet he appears visibly tense, recounting how that night had been calm until his return from a short scouting trip when he spotted a figure standing next to his tent. Initially believing it might be a man he had seen earlier flying a kite nearby, Craig approached cautiously. Grabbing his infrared camera, he turned toward the tent, but no one was there. He scoured the area with a flashlight, searched the tall grass, and found nothing. At the time, he convinced himself it had been nerves or a trick of the light. But when he later reviewed his footage, the explanation grew less comforting. Right before the clip cut out, without any technical issue, a dark, tall figure could be seen standing beside his tent. It matched exactly where he had seen the figure in real life. Craig never spoke publicly about it initially, hoping viewers might catch the detail themselves. Some did. Viewers sent screenshots confirming they too had seen the shadowy figure, though Craig still doesn't know what he encountered. Whether it was a spirit, an illusion, or something worse, the experience left a lasting impression. Would you dare to spend a night camping in a place with such an unsettling legacy? Let us know what you think in the comments. Dee is well acquainted with unsettling encounters. Her YouTube channel, Dee's Dark Adventures, is filled with solo hikes and deep woods explorations, often in places rumored to be haunted or prowled by cryptids. But during this particular expedition into the remote forests of Ohio, she may have faced her most harrowing experience yet. The adventure begins much like many of her other outings, deep into an unfamiliar trail, sweating, brushing off insects, and narrating her experience to the camera. She follows a path that seems too wide for wildlife but shows no signs of regular maintenance. Something about it feels wrong, and that uneasy feeling soon becomes undeniable. As dusk settles, subtle signs of being watched emerge. Dee hears movement among the trees, not the quick, light rustling of small animals, but something heavier, slower. Strange chewing sounds follow, but they don't resemble an animal gnawing on wood. It's harsher, like grinding rocks.
I don't have my freaking spotlight. It was too much to carry. I already had my backpack and it was full. I didn't want to carry anymore. Oh, these vines, great water source. Now, when you chop the end that's in your bottle, no water's going to drip out till you cut the top. Get out of my way. Oh, help me up the hill. Ah, shit, guys. I'm way away. I'm in here deep. I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours from my truck.
Soon after, Dee spots a dark figure through her camera lens. Although she can't see it with her own eyes, it stands motionless, observing her. From that moment, she's no longer alone. As she presses deeper into the forest, she comes across a massive rock formation surrounded by several trails converging toward it. The area feels unnervingly deliberate, as if used for a purpose she cannot understand. Suddenly, a log is hurled toward her. She shines her flashlight into the trees, calling out in an attempt to communicate.
There's all kinds of walk-in spots from in there to here. What is it? Ah! What did I just heard a rock get thrown. Hi. I don't have my spotlight. Hello. Hi. Okay. My name's Dee. Oh my Lord. That's crazy. I could lay on it and it would not. It would hold 3 of me. At least, side by side. On my back.
She shines her flashlight into the trees, calling out in an attempt to communicate, but receives no clear response. The noises continue. Movement among the trees, distant screams, voices near the rock, yet no one ever fully emerges. Dee tries to stay composed, joking nervously to the camera, but her voice betrays growing fear. She feels herself being watched. And not by one entity, but several. flanking and circling her as she moves. Each step away from the road pulls her deeper into isolation. Eventually, she hits a breaking point. Trying to find a trail she marked earlier, she announces her intent to leave and begins retracing her path. But just as she feels she's gaining distance, she spots something along the field's edge. A humanoid figure behaving unnaturally.
What is that? It's a snow! What is it? Dude, no! It looks like a person, man. But no person. It looks like a fucking person. Stop! That ain't a person. That ain't a person. Ah! It just keeps getting up and down, up and down. Stop! Fuck, I can't run. Ah! Somebody drive by, somebody drive by.
It rises and falls in a strange, fluid motion, not at all like a human. Panic surges. She whispers in disbelief before doing the only logical thing, running toward the open field and the road beyond. Gasping for breath, she pushes uphill, aware that whatever was back there was still watching, even if it wasn't chasing. Dee never identifies exactly what she encountered. Her camera, however, kept rolling, capturing glimpses of not just one, but possibly multiple figures lurking just beyond the edge of the light. Was Dee's experience a result of the deep woods' eerie atmosphere, an encounter with local wildlife behaving oddly, or something far less explainable? The unsettling sounds, movements, and shadowy figures hint that she may have stumbled upon something hidden in those woods, something that preferred to stay just out of sight. What do you think was really following Dee that night? A natural threat? A legend made real? Or something even darker? Share your thoughts in the comments. In January 2025, Nikki, the creator of Nikki TV, embarked on her first solo camping trip of the new year. After recovering from a long illness, she packed only the essentials: a tent, tarp, chair, and minimal supplies, aiming for a quiet night under the stars. But instead of the peace she sought, an unsettling encounter forced her to cut the trip short. At first, everything went smoothly. Nikki secured a semi-remote campsite, set up her shelter, and organized her gear while casually chatting to the camera. Though not fully recovered, she was determined to spend the night outdoors. As she finished setting up, a group of men arrived, pulling into the adjacent site with multiple vehicles. At first, it seemed like typical campground activity, until they confronted her, accusing her of occupying their reserved site. Nikki calmly pointed to her reservation slip attached to the post. Showing her name and the dates clearly marked, she explained that she had booked the site online and had been there for several hours.
I'll tell you what, people are just rude anymore. I had to take everything out of my tent and put it back into the 4Runner because these men showed up with 4 different vehicles. First, they told me that they had booked this site and the site beside of me, and that there must have been some misunderstanding, but the problem is that the office is now closed. So I looked at him and I was like, well, you know, I've already been here for a couple hours. My name's on the post. Cook, because they put little tags on the post at each campsite, and they put the dates that you're going to be arriving and the date that you're going to be leaving. So my name is on the tag that's on the campsite post, and it says that I'll be coming in today and leaving tomorrow. So, you know, I looked at him and said, well, I booked this site. It was available. The website allowed me to book the site. If the site was taken, it would have shown me that it was unavailable and it wouldn't have allowed me to get the site.
Despite her explanation, the situation escalated. The men began setting up tents around her, gradually boxing her in. Their presence became increasingly intrusive, making her feel cornered and out of place. Realizing the situation was unlikely to improve, Nikki made the decision to pack up her tent and spend the night inside her vehicle. Though visibly frustrated, she kept a positive tone, offering tips on staying warm inside a car with sleeping bags and hand warmers. She documented the rest of the night from inside her 4Runner, listening to the rain against the roof and trying to find some sense of calm. By morning, she packed quietly, made coffee, ate a Danish, and reflected on how far her channel had come. Yet, the underlying discomfort from the night before remained. a reminder that sometimes the real dangers in the wilderness aren't the ones you expect. Although no overt threats were made, the group's behavior created a hostile environment, a subtle form of intimidation that can be just as unsettling as direct confrontation. For solo campers, especially women, these moments leave lasting impacts. Have you ever felt unwelcome or unsafe in a situation that was supposed to be peaceful? Let us know in the comments. In March 2025, the Ghost Theory team, a UK-based paranormal investigation group, set out to explore a long-abandoned care home located just 20 minutes from their headquarters. The objective was straightforward: document the site, run a few experiments, and perhaps debunk some local rumors. But the night would quickly take a far darker turn. Upon entering the building, something immediately feels wrong. Despite years of abandonment, the home appears strangely intact. Curtains still hang in the windows. Cleaning supplies remain where they were last used. Furniture looks ready for occupancy. Deeper inside, they find signs that someone may have been living there recently. Binoculars, toothpaste, a mattress, and even a functioning space heater. The realization that someone could still be squatting there shifts the entire mood.
And the windows are open over there. Fuck. I don't know if I did, if it was just my reflection thinking about it, but I thought I saw something. What? And then I looked back again and I saw it again. The window just to the right of the door. Maybe it was that black thing I can see in there. I swear to fuck I saw someone move past the window. Yeah. I couldn't have done, surely. Well, if it is, it's just other explorers, isn't it?
I don't know.
It has to be, surely. Yeah, look at all the different exploring people that have been here.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there's someone there. There is someone in there.
Let's just go down there.
They went through the door that way.
The team sets up their usual equipment, baby monitors, cameras, and begins their walkthrough. However, things quickly escalate. They hear doors slamming throughout the building. Initially, they suspect other urban explorers, yet after searching every accessible area, they find no one. Then, through a window in a hallway, one of them spots a figure moving past. At first, they're unsure if it's a trick of reflection, but the figure appears again, solid and unmistakable. They attempt to pursue, but only encounter more strange phenomena, more slamming doors, light footsteps, unexplained creaks. They rationalize the sounds as structural noises or weather, but none of it fully explains what they are experiencing.
There's like an old woman walking around the bottom of the fucking corridor. Did you record? Get this shit.
The turning point comes when one investigator sees a clear figure at the end of a hallway. An elderly woman, hunched and carrying a bag, slowly walking away. The sight is so jarring that their first instinct isn't to follow, but to retreat. They realize they had been standing at the only exit the entire time. No one ever passed them. When reviewing their footage, the figure is captured clearly. A full-body apparition, not transparent, walking at a deliberate, steady pace. Zooming into the clip confirms the detail. An older woman, handbag slung over her shoulder, moving slowly down the abandoned corridor. Everything about her fits the history of the building. It wasn't a fellow explorer. It wasn't security. It was something else entirely.
See what I've seen, because I honestly have just seen a woman, like quite obviously a woman to me, like sort of walk like this, with sort of hunched over it really slowly like that, down the fucking corridor, and then obviously I just walked away from it.
Yeah, because that's what you...
When you think there's people,
Yeah, when you think there's people. Okay. Oh, not... Oh,
That's
no.
open as well, obviously.
Oh, good.
Oh, well, fuck knows then. Absolutely no idea. This has to be probably the best capture we've ever had, if it's actually paranormal. Now, it is a big if, obviously, because capturing an actual full-body apparition on camera is incredibly rare, if not never really actually happened before, or at least proven to have happened before. Now, what makes this really strange is when you zoom in, you can actually see that it is what looks like an older woman dawdling down the end of the corridor with a handbag on their left shoulder. So if it is an apparition, then you're talking proper apparition. This isn't just one or two frames of a slightly invisible looking person. This is an actual person walking down the end of the corridor.
Capturing a full-body apparition on video is almost unheard of. The figure's appearance, solid, detailed, and perfectly aligned with the building's history, raises questions. Was this the residual energy of a former resident, still wandering the halls long after the care home closed? Was this an extraordinary paranormal capture? Or is there another explanation no one has uncovered yet? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Which story stuck with you? And have you ever experienced something strange while camping? Drop your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it.